Hello, guys. I'm coming back in because I talked to the people who follow me in a live, and I feel it necessary to put this out into the universe. I want you guys to know in October of 2025, there was a currency swap done between Argentina and America. Argentina gave us $20 billion in pesos, and we gave them $20 billion in American money. So we all know that the dollar is more than the peso. So obviously Argentina made out like a fat rat. Well, this here currency swap has a repayment program, right? So what it is Argentina has to make like $5 million payments, $5 million incremental payments, and so that they don't default on this. Basically what it is a loan that America has given them. And the thing of it is if they default, then the American taxpayer is going to take the hit. I just want y'all to know that. Well, anyway, there was an additional $20 billion given via private banks. Okay? So, and I'm going to tell you those private banks. Those private banks were Citibank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, and Wells Fargo, and Goldman Sachs. They all came together and gave Argentina $20 billion, and the American government gave Argentina $20 billion, which makes $40 billion that was given to them. Well, where did America get this money? Right? Because we're broke. Ain't that what Trump said with the SNAP program? We ain't got the money. There's only $5 billion in SNAP, and it's not enough to fund SNAP, blah, 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 right? So I was thinking, okay, where did they get the money from? Well, remember when Trump was talking about the sovereign grant fund, that, he wanted to privatize Social Security. Y'all remember that? Do you guys remember when and this was brought to my remembrance by somebody in my live. Her name is Alicia. She said Salisbury had told us that there was a fund that had plenty of money in it, right? And we all thought that she was talking about that special fund that the Department of Agriculture, the emergency fund, right? Y'all remember that? I thought she was, the emergency fund, but she wasn't talking about the emergency fund. She's talking about another fund. So part of where we got the money was from something called the Sovereign Wealth Fund. But it's really called, in America, the ESF Fund, right? How many of y'all knew that we had a private fund in the federal government that's been there since 1934? How many of you knew that we had this money? Right? This money is used to help stabilize currency values. So if our American dollar tanks, that money is used to bring it back up. If we use it to intervene in foreign exchange markets, and we use it to stabilize our economy. Yeah, you're thinking what I'm thinking. Okay? So this money, right? Wherever this fund is, it had enough money in it to give Argentina $20 billion, because that's where they got it from. I'm going to dispute all facts that say that they got the money from the SNAP program, because they didn't. I'm going to dispute all facts that said that they got it from the federal government. They did, but they got it from this ESF fund that's been sitting in the Treasury Department since 1934. And I'm just saying, and let's just say, for instance, this money is just leftover governmental money that the government didn't use. It's like they just put it into this fund, and this fund just sits there, right? I bet you money is drawing interest too. So with that being said, let's say they put $5 billion a year in that fund. That's probably 455. That's $500 billion. Why couldn't they fund SNAP? Why couldn't they fund SNAP with that money? Why couldn't they help pay for Medicaid with that money? Why did they have to mess with Medicare with that money? I'm just asking, guys, because this money, this ESF fund, nobody seems to fucking know about. Nobody knows about this fund that's been sitting there since 1934. That is a slush fund. This is America's in case of emergency fund, guys. That's what this fund is. In case of emergencies. You mean to tell me funding SNAP was an emergency? I'm just saying. It's called the ESF fund, y'all. It's a part of the old Treasury system, reserve fund, and it was established in 1934. Wow. And I'm going to tell you why. They gave the $20 billion to Argentina. You want to know why they gave the $20 billion to Argentina? Because there are banks in Argentina that have direct operations there. Citibank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Goldman Sachs has direct operations, means their headquarters is in Argentina. And if Argentina's economy crashes, so do those banks. Boom. Second thing, there are also companies over there that are American companies that rely on Argentina for resources. Those companies are Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Ford GM, Procter & Gamble, ExxonMobil Chevron, Microsoft Office, IBM, Oracle, Bayer, McDonald's and Starbucks, ADM, and Cargill. You know Cargill, who did all those slave plantations in the Ivory Coast and made all those 6-year-old kids pick cocoa to make us chocolate bars and coconut oil? Yeah. You know those kids, those 7 kids who sued Cargill in the Supreme Court and lost because the judge said there was no credible evidence that they were on the specific plantation that they sued about? Yeah, that Cargill. I'm letting you guys know right now, these companies would have suffered profit loss. I want y'all to go and look at Trump's donor list and see, aren't these people on there? This was a quid pro quo, baby, for helping him get elected. He made us suffer to save them. Have a good night, guys.